And we're worshiping in a different context, aren't we? We're working with guests from the Jewish and Muslim faith communities who are here and present and outside our, you know, in the old days, in the 1800s, they called the building where the church met, it was called a meeting house. So they are outside of our meeting house, tearing off boards that could have been gone a couple of days ago, painting and priming. And I want to warn you, if you've kind of gotten used to this white look, we've got red paint for the doors.
This is a very old church. It's over 104 years old. There's a lot of repairs, and I really personally appreciate anyone that's come in here and done the thing that they've done here, because it's something that really needed to be done.
You take a guy like me, I'm older than he is, I'm 75 years old. So it's so much here that I can't do it at that age. So we can get some young people in, relieve us, especially me, and I can go sit down.
The mission of Austin Area Interreligious Ministries, or AIM, is to bring people together around the notion of doing good in the community. We try to build bridges between different faith traditions and different cultures that call Austin home. And we think that hands-on housing is kind of our key central expression of that. We repair houses, and in today's case, a church, and we use volunteers from all different kinds of communities, and they spend the day together doing good, doing something really positive, and getting to know each other in the process. One of our clients, an elderly woman who happens to be a member of this congregation, approached us and said, do y'all ever fix churches? And we thought, well, not really, but we asked our volunteers what they thought about the idea, and the response from the Jewish and Muslim communities was overwhelming. They really wanted to help.
Okay, Sam, grab this end of the board.
When there's somebody in need in your community, if you can help them out, it feels good. And it's actually a commandment. I know it's a commandment in my religion, and I'm pretty sure it's a commandment in Islam too, to help your neighbor. The Muslims after 9/11 reached out to the different interfaith groups, and ours happened to be the Jewish Muslim group, and which took a lot of courage on both parts, because there's bad history between the two groups. But it's worked out wonderfully, because there've been a lot of friendships that have developed over the past 6-7 years.
This used to be black. Covered
Really?
in mold,
Wow.
rotten wood.
Wow.
When AIM said, no, we want to do it, and we want to bring people from other faiths, it not only kind of overwhelmed me from the point of view of we're going to be able to really take care of this, facility that we call God's house, but that we have people that we share community with, yet we have very different faith lives and locations, and that we're crossing these boundaries to remember who we are as people of faith. And that opportunity to come together in Austin, it just doesn't happen very often.
This is what I call unity in the community, when all the faiths come together to help out.
I've really enjoyed talking to Cyril, and it just, it brings me back to the point that we're really not that different. I've learned a lot about her family and things that she's done, and the way she's raised her kids. I've just made a friend, and I think that's what this is about too, right?
I'm really grateful actually to have this opportunity. I do a lot of the kinds of things where you send money or you go to meetings, and those are great, and those are important, those are needed, but I really like getting in there and doing something where I can see the difference.
I've seen this church be
flooded with people. Pick up church chairs every Sunday. And I've seen it go down to where it is right now. I really never were really so saddened that I thought we was just going to go down the hill, because I realized what God said a long time ago. You may worship here, but there time will come that you may not have a place to worship. You may have to worship out there under the trees. Well, I was ready for that. I've enjoyed this day. These are tears of joy, children. These are tears of joy. Because God has answered my prayer. And I didn't know how He was going to do it. I never even thought it was going to come this way.
This porch now will hold a 500-pound man, and it won't even bend.
And before it wouldn't really hold a 20-pound dog.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it did a great job.
They've done a tremendous job on it.
We repair homes primarily in the East Austin area. Our typical client is 70-plus years old. The youngest, I think, amount of time that someone's been in a house is probably around 13 years. Sometimes it's up to 50 or 60 years. Gentrification is all around our clients' homes, obviously, and so we're trying to we repair the homes. We don't build any homes, but we repair homes to help people stay in their home.
My porch was beat up so bad, you could hardly walk on it, but I was able to deal with it, but Kathy didn't think so. She said, you need a new porch. My back door, it wasn't locking real good, but I could make out. But Kathy said, you need a new back door. It even looks larger.
You are just like
her.
Now.
What they done, they looked at her porch over there and they came and done this over here. And now I don't have to worry about my grandchildren running backwards and forwards off the porch.
And they can play up here.
They can play up here and put their dog
Yeah.
place out here and everything.
Yeah.
It is very, very nice. I couldn't ask for anything else.
The heart of this program is letting elderly people know that they're not forgotten.
I've been the member of this church 35 years. Since Pastor Amy came to our church, it's taken our church, Bethany Christian Church, to another level, and I'm glad that Amy came.
As a volunteer, often you're doing something that's a gift to somebody else, but you're the one who really receives the blessing. You're the one who grows at the end of the day. When you see the gratitude of the individuals involved and how thankful they are, you've grown as a result. You really change, and that, I think, is the gift for the volunteer.
Martin Luther King died for a change. Jesus Christ died for a change. That was the first one to die for a change. So and we're showing right now that we have a big change coming, whether they like it or not.
Oh, yes. Well, I think it's what they did. I have never seen before.
What is a docublogger? A docublogger is a creative individual that not only enjoys watching stories about their community, they enjoy telling them as well. Whether they're sharing their opinions through a blog or grabbing a camera and documenting a story as it unfolds, docubloggers can find a home at klru.org/docubloggers. We invite you to join us in creating and enjoying stories about life in Central Texas.
What's your favorite item on the menu?
The favorite item on the menu is probably the Frisco burger.
The beef tips?
And then their chicken fried steak is very good.
Do I only get to choose one? I mean, it would be a close contest between the Down South burger and their awesome coleslaw and enchiladas. And I always get the side salad with enchiladas.
I'm Harry Aiken, the nephew of the original Harry Aiken who founded the Nighthawk business. This restaurant has been in place since 1953, at which time the area here was sort of the edge of Austin, if you will. We'll house breakfast today.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's become an Austin institution, or to use an overworked term, icon, according to newspapers and other media. We are having to vacate this location to make room for a Walgreens drugstore.
Did you know that it was our last day? Well, today is the last day in our last operating day in this building after 55 years. And it brings lots of mixed emotions, a lot of nostalgia here today. Lots of families coming in from all over the state. So it's a very special day filled with lots of mixed emotions. Would you like some ketchup for the fries?
Please.
It's a huge family experience for these people. They've raised their children here. They've raised their grandchildren here.
I brought him as a little child, and I've got 3 grandsons, and all 3 of them. We would come in here after I pick them up at school. We'd come after school. I had them in here the other day. One of them, and he said, "I still remember coming in here, Granny, after school, and you giving us hamburgers." So I mean, that's just the way it was. I mean, you know.
They've had lots of firsts. The first date, the first restaurant they ever brought their child to. So it's more than a business. It's a place that provided these families many, many memories for many generations.
What's your favorite item on the menu?
Oh, I like their down south hamburger.
And I like the chicken fried steak.
Basically, I'm a vegetarian, and I love their vegetables. They taste more like you would prepare at home.
The Austin paper one time stated that our restaurant was popular with the blue-haired crowd, and we're very proud of that.
Well, I was born in 1910. Does that tell you anything? It seems like the beginning of time that I've been coming to the Frisco. That's ever since they've been in operation.
Well, I've been coming here for about 20 years, and I live just about a block from here, so I can walk up here. And I eat here every day before I go to work, because it's just a home place. It's just like coming into my mother's kitchen to eat. I like whenever they're going to tear this down, I'd like to take a little piece of it home with me. I really would.
The south wall was originally here with the counter, and then the north wall was approximately here. So you can see it really was a tiny place intended as a short order restaurant. Of course, at the time the Nighthawk menu originated, there was very little concern about cholesterol, calories, that sort of thing. So I would not call our menu really diet friendly. In the main, this is not the place you come for a low-calorie meal.
Coconut cream pie is lodged in a very short list of things that include my early sexual experiences. It's definitely comfort food, and you generally don't eat comfort food until you're really hungry and you want to qualify for a nap. As soon as the camera goes off, I'm going to inhale everything on my plate, and then I'm going to go take a little nap.
We began to look into the possibility of finding a new location, and I have long admired the property to which we're going, and we hope very shortly then to reopen 5 or 6 blocks north on the same side of Burnet Road.
Well, we'll be in the new place another 50 years, so not to worry.
10 years from now, people will be talking about this place and be wrong about where it was, you know, but it'll be right up the street, and hopefully I'll still be able to come up for breakfast.
I'm just real happy that we are able to continue the business, to be able to relocate. Because, you know, back not too many years ago, Nighthawk was a pretty nice chain. We had 7 restaurants and a frozen food operation, and we was doing well. And this is the last unit of that company, you know, that's left. And I'm just happy that we are able to move up the street and be able to continue the tradition of the Frisco shop at Nighthawk. It will be painful to walk away, and it'll be painful for many of our customers.
But that's something that I really somewhat resent, that we just tear everything down. I mean, and just put something new up. Yeah, I'm going to miss this building. I will, definitely.
And it's just like losing our old home. When they tear this down, it's just gonna take a piece of Austin with it.
It's like moving an age-old friend, and I guess I'll just have to adjust, that's all.
Of course, the building, we will remember it in our memorabilia, but basically it is the wonderful association that we have had with the personnel, the crews, and the wonderful food that they serve.
I don't want to be here when they bulldoze it down. Let's put it like that. I don't think I even want to see that, you know. Hopefully we'll be able to take the spirit up the street with us. But the soul, I'm not so sure about that. I don't know if we can take that. I just don't know.
Docubloggers is about community engagement.
It's a television show.
It's a website.
It's a multimedia revolution chronicling life in Central Texas.
So, go home and
share your story. Submit a docublog by September 22nd and get a free t-shirt. All eligible entries will also compete for the grand prize.
Log on to klru.org/docubloggers for more details.
Greenbuilding is essential right now in that, you have oil closing in on $100 a barrel, and so energy is getting more and more expensive. The recent publicity and the Nobel that Al Gore won about global warming. So it's a timely topic that's on the tip of everyone's tongue, and it's with energy being expensive, it's a lot easier to get people to understand just how important it is to go green in everything we do. You said I've been in the home building business my whole career. I've built thousands of homes. I sold a home building company and retired from there a little over 5 years ago. And during that time, I sat still and got quiet and said, well, what's the next great big thing coming? And began to study about green and understanding about what is green, and had seen the movement kind of come and go in the 70s, and the energy crisis and stuff had kind of come and gone, but this time it seemed like that the green movement was not so much about the energy crisis, but more about what's good for the earth and what's good for the globe. It became clear to me that really nobody had grabbed it especially in the residential construction in any kind of large-scale way. There's several instances of Greenbuilders, more of a one-off custom home type builder that had perfected a lot of the systems that we're demonstrating here today. But nobody had really gone at it in any kind of a scale way. And with my experience of doing this in a large-scale way, it seemed like that was the next right thing to do. But Georgetown is a city in and of itself. It's also sometimes considered a bedroom community to the capital of Texas, Austin. It's got great schools. It has a good family base it's considered a great place to raise a family, good employment base, and now with a good transportation corridor, it's poised to be a boomtown. You said you're not selling a weird looking, you don't have to be weird to be green, a traditional looking home on the outside, but a high performance home on the inside. The high performance comes from super insulated. We insulate using a spray foam technology that is sprayed in the cavities in between the studs, all the way up into the rafters, all the way up through the ridge board. So the whole home is would be like, think like a igloo cooler. Like when you put a couple of sodas in an igloo cooler and close it, come back a week later, there's still some ice and it's still cold in there. Same thing the way we build these homes. All the equipment goes up in the attic, and then it's super insulated as well. So that was one of the things when we were first getting into this was you can save 90% of the energy you're going to save in the first 10% of your design process. And so now we have this environmental control center in the thing. It's super insulated. You can see all of this Icynene insulation that's here. That's all in that box in the box. To be green is to save every chance you get on using any old growth lumber. And use locally sourced materials as much as possible. This finger joint material comes from Texas. It's yellow pine, and then it is put together, the cutoffs from different parts where you can't use any finger jointing, like in longer rafters and ceiling joists. The finger joint, the cutoffs from that are then run through a special machine where the reason why it's called finger joints is then they put them together. They put the little thing, put them all together with environmentally non-off-gassing glue. Think of a small piece of wood, try to break it versus a long piece of wood. And the actual joint is stronger than the wood itself. One of the main tenets of green building is do as little harm on the occupants as possible. And so the chemicals that come off your car that people tend to put in their garages, the paint and solvents and gasoline and those kinds of things, and then all the chemicals that are in your engine and that are sizzling on your engine when you park it in the garage will permeate the home. So here where we have the alleyway, we're able to put the detached garage, so there's none of that issues going on. A home that's insulated like this, sided like this, shaded, we have large overhangs that shade the windows, and it's a whole system, but a home like this will save anywhere from 40 to 60% on monthly energy bills. It's about that first 10% of your design, which is 90% of the savings, which is doing all your homework before you really begin doing anything. So it's thought through as a total system. We're green from the ground up, all the way through the ridge.
The first step to becoming a Docublogger is logging onto our website at klru.org/Docubloggers.
Exchange your insights and opinions with your community on our blog, watch stories from our broadcasts, view web-only extras, and even add your own docublogs. Find all this and more at klru.org/Docubloggers.
We show our culture to them. We show our dances. Everybody gets to see how we have fun, how we enjoy ourselves, our different dances from all over the islands, the mainlands. Just the way we have fun, basically.
And Greek life is not only fraternities, it's for Greeks, from Greece.
Very family oriented. I mean, obviously I've got my 20-month-old here. Throwing a really good party here, good food, good wine, very good music, lots of dancing. So we're having a grand old time here.
Well, it's upbeat, always happy. One of the many dances that actually come from the heart when you start dancing it. Yes. You listen to the sound and the song makes you dance. Well, it's my culture, that's why I love it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. It's good exercise too.
A docublog is a video that tells a story about a person, place, event, or anything else in your community.
It can be funny, serious, concrete, or avant-garde. We encourage you to go out there and share your story with your neighbors. Go to klru.org/docubloggers to find out how. Become a docublogger. Log on to docubloggers.org to share your opinions and story ideas, or get out your camera and create your own docublog.